Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash, and I want to say Shalom to you Akhman Akloth out there, pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's another edition of the Judgment Report. All right, and this one's coming at you on January 14th, 2025. And I've got a couple different articles here that I've saved. You know, sometimes I go for the free flowing of the topics. I got a couple ones that I guess I had together that I was looking at today. Scriptures, of course, are going to be free flow just as we go through it. What comes to the spirit. So yeah, without any further ado, let's just jump in not any particular order, but let's do let's see. You know what? Where do I want to start off here? I guess we'll start off with this one, right? This is the big one, right? Big amount of people killed, right? So this is from CBS News, all right? And it says at least 100 people reportedly dead in illegal South African gold mine as resources continue. So it says 6 more bodies have been recovered from an illegal gold mine in South Africa, where scores of people have reportedly died underground since authorities tried to force them out and seal the mine in November. CBS News partner network BBC News reported 8 people were rescued alive on Tuesday and 26 were recovered on Monday, the BBC reported. Over 100 people who were illegally mining in the abandoned mine have reportedly died since the crackdown began. A group representing the miners told British broadcaster Sky News, arguing that the miners had entered without permission. The crackdown involved authorities cutting off their access to food and water, the BBC reported. That's kind of a fucked up thing to do. It says last week the government was ordered by a court to facilitate a rescue operation. So we can see, we don't really see much, I imagine, because it all caved in. It says videos that appear to have been taken on mobile phones inside the mine and brought to the surface by those being rescued show what appear to be emaciated people and corpses wrapped in makeshift body bags. CBS News has been unable to independently verify the videos. That's what they say, right? It says the General Industries Workers of South Africa, a trade union, also known as GUSA, all right, released one video CBS News has been unable to independently verify that shows dozens of men sitting on a floor with a voice off camera saying they're hungry and need help. We're starting to show you the bodies of those who died underground, said the voice in the video. And this is not all of them. Do you see how people are struggling? Please, we need help. So this seems like these guys were kind of in a real fucked up situation where they weren't even getting water or food or nothing. And I guess the government was refusing to help until a court order started, right? But it was ordered by a court to facilitate a rescue operation. I guess just weird. It's not really how it works in America, but it says what this footage does is show a pile of human bodies of miners that died needlessly. GUSA president Mamel Wet, I'm not going to even try to pronounce that, said. South Africa's Department of Mineral Resources told BBC the rescue operation on Monday involved lowering a cage into the mine that was designed to hold 6 or 7 people. That the cage has been going up and down the shaft every hour. Now, if I had to say anything about it, I don't know if they're showing people. I would imagine these people are not the Edomites that are over there. I imagine these people are Ham, that they're, that are going down there. Let's see. Yeah, you see them. It's not a thing that Edomite people would be doing. That's a brown people job, right? That's, so they're down there trying to make a buck, all right? As, you want to make some money probably. They're in an impoverished area, I'm sure. And, Esau controls a lot of that South African area. And, they're down there trying to make some money, all right? And, yep. Soon, I didn't even need. I guess these are some of them, but I didn't need to even have to verify that to know they were Ham. All right, because Esau ain't gonna do none of that work themselves. All right, not unless they're specifically getting paid quite lucratively. All right, to do it. So this is Psalms 9, and that's 100 people deleted, man. That's 100 people deleted. All right, the Lord is deleting people. Okay, so this is Psalms 9 and 16. It says, the Lord is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higyon Selah. Okay, so none of these people are innocent. That's the other thing you got to realize. All right, even though they're in a kind of a bad situation, all right, none of them were innocent. As we can go and get this is Job 4 and 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. And plowing and sowing, that's dealing with farmer terms, all right? So if you're planting, all right, wickedness, guess what you're going to reap? All right, reap is that harvest. What's your harvest going to be? Wickedness? You can't expect to plant evil seeds and get back a righteous plant. That ain't how it works. All right, it says, by the blast of Yahweh they perish, and by the breath of his nostrils are they consumed. So there you go. And that's just, and going back up to the wicked is snared in the work of his own hands, is right in correlation with, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. And that's what they were, regardless of, not necessarily that what they were doing wasn't a wicked act. All right, I don't know if you would necessarily count it as stealing. All right, they just weren't supposed to be there. It says tens of billions of dollars in gold flows illegally out of Africa each year, a new report says. Well, the thing you got to ask yourself is where is that where's that money going to? Right? That's the thing you need to ask yourself. Where is that money going to? If they're making tens and billions of dollars that are flowing out of that place, if there's tens and billions of dollars that are flowing out of that place, you got to ask yourself, who's buying this gold, right? And it's probably Esau, Edom, and it's probably going to these big jewelry stores that they all have, right? They're probably buying it cheap. Okay, so if tens and billions of dollars of gold are flowing out, there's technically 30 or 40 billion dollars. All right, that's really going out there. It's just they're only paying tens of billions of dollars, right? If they're even paying tens of billions. So that's Esau. That's how they operate, man. And the way Esau is, with the way they control and have this monopoly over the money. Bear with me. The way they have this monopoly over the money, you have people willing to put themselves in these dangerous situations, right? Because you have to do you can't do none of the easy stuff, because Esau does all the easy stuff, right? So you got to go do something hard, all right, to get your money. And it's the same thing with like construction, man. You're putting your life at risk, all right. You're ruining your body, all right. But it's lucrative, right? And Esau, the low end Edomites, trailer trash, they'll do it, all right. But the regular Edomites, man, you never see the regular Edomites doing no job like that. That's a job for peasants, as they would call them, all right? That's what they think of us. They think of us as peasants, really, when they're the peasants, right? But that's why you have, Jake and the heathens putting themselves in these dangerous situations just to try to survive, man. If they could make that type of money just plowing a field and, I don't know, planting lettuce or whatever, you don't think they would do it? Absolutely, they would do it. But it's not obtainable for them, or it's not lucrative enough. Right? So that's why you got Esau's just, he's a bad ruler, all right? He's a bad ruler. As a matter of fact, let's get this. This is Proverbs 29 and 2. It says, and bear with me just one moment. All right, slack you for that. Make sure that we're, slack you. Back. Get out of there. So, Slakia, Proverbs 29 and 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. All right, and right now the wicked are in rulership. All right, and we can know that because we're Israel. All right, we're Jacob. And Jacob is the beginning. And this is 2nd Esdras 6 and 9. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right, and right now we're at the, we're in the end world stages. All right, and Esau is in rulership. All right, the wicked is in rule. All right, the earth is given in the hand of the wicked. All right, that's a scripture. So right now the earth is in the hand of the wicked right now, and because of that, the people are mourning. All right, they have to do all these in the work system in general. Man, don't even get me started on that, because the work system here is slavery. They have you working more than that you're getting time with your family. All right, and a matter of fact, that goes back into the curses. And slack you for the dumbass dog barking in the back. That goes into the curses, which is we can grab Deuteronomy 28. We can get what is this? We can go and get Deuteronomy 28 and just read through some of these. Now, the curses start down, where are they at? In verse 15. All right, 14 and up is all talking about, the blessings that would come upon Israel if they, like it said, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, and observe to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And obviously we didn't do that, because the diaspora, all right, the scattering abroad happened because we were being wicked. All right, so what happened to us was in 14. It says, or verse 15, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and the statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And we got a lot of different ones here. All right, I'm just going to pick and choose some ones. You can go and read them all. There's a lot. I've done a breakdown of this before. But verse 17, cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. All right, that even if, thy basket, is referring to our money. All right, we're not going to make a lot of money like that. Thy store, even if you do have a business, it's not going to do particularly well. You see Jake businesses shutting down a lot. What else do we got here? Getting sick a lot, right? 21, the Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee until he have consumed thee from off the land, whether thou goest to possess it. Right? That's another one. But the point we're really looking at for today is, let's see. Yeah, even construction is really even mentioned in this chapter as well. Right here we got a little bit of it. 33, the fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. All right? A nation that we don't, knowest not shall eat up. And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed away. So all the things that we do ends up getting stolen and taken away from us by Esau, Edom. What else do we have? Of course, 36 is big, all right, because, where we are. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, speaking of Babylon, and there shall thou serve other gods, wood and stone. Right here you can see down here, thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. There you go. But really right here, let me see. That's dealing with slavery, of course, the yoke of iron upon thy neck, right? Here's a big hint, too, 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Okay? And that's dealing with, the eagle. Eagle is mentioned a lot throughout the Bible. Let me try to find it. I'll grab a drink while I'm doing this. Right here, 65. And it says, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease. And I mentioned earlier about construction. And it's kind of in the same thing, but really it's about, doing that hard laborious work, like working in the field and stuff like that. Field work, all right, talking about the gathering of the grapes, all right, and you're not even be able to eat them, all right. or anoint yourself with the oil of, well, I think it said olives, right? Not even, it's because they're not yours, all right? You're just doing it for someone else. It says, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. So there you go, man. Here it's the work ethic, if you even want to call that. It's not ethical at all, but the work lifestyle, which is not even a lifestyle, but is it's not proportionate, man. We in Deuteronomy 28, it also talks about having sons and daughters and not being able to really enjoy them, all right, and them going into captivity as well, which is true. But it's also true of the fact that we can't even enjoy having kids here because or our wives, all right, because or you women, your husbands, you can't even enjoy your husbands because they're too busy at work, all right, or you're too busy at work. Everyone's working because in this society now, you work more than you have free time, all right? That's slavery, all right? Slavery. 5 days, standard, 5 days a week. You are bound to servitude under Esau, Edom to work. 2 days you have off. Really, 1.5, all right? Because 1 day to really do what you want, and then the second day, you probably got to go to bed early and prepare to get back to work the next day. What kind of fucking life is that? That is slavery, man. Think about that. Having more days being at work. You spend more time with your coworkers than you do your loved ones. Think about that, man. Think about it. A lot of people don't really sit down and think about that. These Edomites, too, they don't really, the high up Edomites do, all right, but the workers, they don't sit down and think, wow, I am at work doing something I don't want to do more than I am at home. I do all this so I can afford my house, so I can afford groceries, right? And I do all that to be able to go home 2 days, 1.5 days, to be able to see my wife for 1.5 days and really be able to do what you want. Yeah, you get time after work. Yeah, a little bit, but you got to account, you got to go shopping, you got to bathe, right? And then after that, that's it. That's pretty much your day, right? Cook, right? You get home, you got to, unless you want to eat out, but then that's just more money, right? So you got to balance everything. In an ideal, perfect society, we would have more days off than we would work. 3 days work, 4 days off is far reasonable. All right, but they want you to work even the 4-day work week. All right, which I happen to be blessed with 3 days off. I'm still working more than I'm getting days off. And if you think about that, that's fucked up. A lot of us, back in the day were, farmers, self-employed essentially, right? We gathered our crops, did our things, and would sell it. All right, women would, sew, seamstress. That's the word, seamstress, quilts and different things like that, and crafted goods. All right, men, of course, farming and doing stuff like that, and women would help with certain stuff like that as well historically. And then the fruits of our labor, our labor that we did would be that we would sell it off, get money, or trade too was a big thing. All right, trade being that, I have cattle. Okay, so I have cattle, and you're over here, you have something else I'm looking for, right? I'll give you a cow, all right, if you give me this and that, right? And then that's how we would make our living. But that's really, this Babylonian lifestyle is really akin to fucking Egypt, all right? We're working under Pharaoh, all right? You work. You don't really get days off like that. And if you do, hey, count your blessings, right? And you go back to work, and then you get up the next day ready to work, and then you go to sleep, and you get up next day ready to work, and you go on work, all right? And you work. You go home, get a little bit of time to eat, all right? Maybe not even that much time of leisure, and then right back to work. All right, and you could probably look that up. How much? We'll go to ChatGPT. All right. Under the rule of Pharaoh. I don't know how to spell it, but how much time did the Israelites have for leisure eating, cooking after their forced labor? course, it doesn't give us an exact account, but likely, right? Likely. It says ancient Egyptian labor practices. Slavery in ancient Egypt would involve a rigid schedule with workers typically organized into shifts. Slaves often worked from sunrise to sunset. All right? There's some people that are doing that, those 12-hour shifts, right? Breaks for meals and short periods of rest were likely. Oh, like a 30-minute meal break, as maintaining some level of health was necessary for productivity. However, leisure was minimal for enslaved workers. All right, of course they had it a little bit more worse than we have it now. But if you think about it, you had, quick 30-minute meal break, all right? And then and the only reason they even give us breaks, man, is because you had to have maintained a level of health for productivity. We won't work right if we're not fed. That's the only reason they even give us a meal break. If they could legally get away with not giving us a break to eat at all, they would do it. If these motherfuckers could work us 24 hours straight, all right, without anybody complaining, they would do it. They would do it. That's these devils, man. All right, leisure. True leisure would have been rare for enslaved people. Any time outside of forced labor was likely devoted to essential tasks like cooking, cleaning, and maintaining family life. All right, religious observances and or for moments of prayer may have been provided some solace and community bonding. All right, and they probably had, maybe 10 minutes, right? So it said enslaved laborers may have worked approximately 10 to 12 hours a day. All right, and most of us are only 2 hours under that. Right? 10 to 12 hours. Most of us work 8-hour days. Right? I'm blessed enough to not have to work 8-hour days. Most of them are 7-hour days. And that's really just because of greed from my company. They don't want us to go into overtime. So, and when you get 8 hours, if you stay 1 minute over, you start getting to overtime, and they don't like that. So what they came up with was, hey, only give out 7-hour shifts. That way they can't go into overtime. Ain't that some greedy shit? Funny. But that's, and that's what leads these guys to do things like that, right? That's what leads these people to go and try to, make money in dangerous ways. So that's that, man. That's that. So let's go on. And that was really, not talking as much about judgment as it is the unfairness of Esau, all right? And really, here's one. Let me grab a drink. Psalms 10 and 5 says, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. All right. So he doesn't care about these people. All right. And he's also proud. Going into verse 6, he hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. All right. He's never going to be troubled. He's never going to have to be do what these other people are doing, right? Another one is he is not troubled like other men. Psalms 73 and 5, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Right? So these devils, right? They don't think they're ever going to be, because they're not right now. They think that they're never going to be. Right? So let's continue on. Let's see what else we got here. Now I'm gonna get let's see, what do I want to get? And I'm not gonna necessarily get all of these. These are just ones, that seemed interesting to me. I don't really have let's see. Let's get this one, because this was interesting to me. All right, we're not gonna get this ski restaurant thing. That was just, it was interesting. I'm not gonna get that one either. That one was stupid. I'll read it though. 2 men were found dead from exposure after looking for Sasquatch. That's just dumb. All right, that's what you get for being dumb, looking for Sasquatch. All right, now your ass froze to death, or whatever, burnt to death, some type of exposure, extreme exposure. This is interesting. All right, we know what happened here. OpenAI whistleblower found dead in San Francisco apartment. Sushir Balaji, 26, claimed the company broke copyright law. Says, let's listen to it.
OpenAI whistleblower found dead in San Francisco apartment. San Francisco, a former OpenAI researcher known for whistleblowing the blockbuster artificial intelligence company facing a swell of lawsuits over its business model, has died, authorities confirmed this week. Suchir Balaji, 26, was found dead inside his Buchanan Street apartment on November 26, San Francisco police and the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner said. Police had been called to the Lower Haight residence at about 1 p.m. that day, after receiving a call asking officers to check on his well-being, a police spokesperson said. The medical examiner's office determined the manner of death to be suicide, and police officials this week said there is currently no evidence of foul play.
Yeah, see, that's what always happens with these whistleblowers, you know, and you can go back to Boeing. Right? He was found self-inflicted gunshot wound in his car. This guy was severe infection. That's what they say. They probably put it in him or something like that. But yeah, man, all these whistleblowers dying. Nobody thinks that's fucking weird? All right, we look. This is 2 Corinthians 2:11. It says, "Lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." Man, we know what you do. We know you make these you know, you have a thing, you know, it was a suicide. It was, you know, fortunately, it seems that they've passed away. Why are all these whistleblowers killing themselves? What the fuck? That don't make no sense. Because we know what you're doing, man. You like to kill people, all right? Because you're a goddamn demon. You're a devil, Esau, all right? And here's one for you. All right, this is talking about how you do us, but this is of course, you know, this is dealing with Israel, all right, the people of Israel. And I'll read it too because this is what you do to our people. And this guy was more than likely not an Israelite, but it doesn't change the fact you guys love killing. Ezekiel, especially us, right? So Ezekiel 35:5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, all right, because we're in the subjection of captivity, all right, that's our calamity right now. And the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. That thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. You like blood so much, you like killing people so much, Esau? Well, guess what? The Lord's going to get your ass right on back. All right, and hey, judgment is coming your way, man. Judgment is absolutely coming your way. So let's see, we got 28 minutes. So let's get these two, and then we're gonna go ahead and close out. Oops. Well, oh well. So there's a couple different ones here, right? And both dealing with the same thing. All right, both dealing with the same thing. Let's see. All right, yeah, let's go get it. I was gonna load up a scripture. We'll load it up after we get it because it'll make more sense in context. So this is these two. All right, one shared thing in common. These beasts. All right, killing them. All right. This is Spanish woman. All right, Edomite. You can see her. Spanish woman, and the Spanish, all right, the conquistadors. All right, the original Spain. All right, they're Edomites. All right, they're just so-called white people. They're Edomites. So, and that's why they're part of that beast, all right, the Spanish, all right, because they're Edomite nation, all right. Spanish woman killed by elephant in Thailand while bathing, animal police say. A Spanish woman was gored to death. Okay, I expected it to be like fell on her or something. A Spanish woman was gored to death by an elephant while bathing the animal at a sanctuary in southern Thailand on Friday, according to local police. Blanca, or I'm not going to even try to pronounce that, Blanca Garcia, 22, and her boyfriend were giving a bath to an elephant at Koh Yao Elephant Care Center when the animal seemed to panic and pierced her with its tusk. Ooh, damn, police told CNN. Bathing elephants at animal sanctuaries is a popular activity for tourists in Thailand, which is home to both wild and domestic populations. Garcia was visiting Thailand with her boyfriend And the couple had been on a day trip to the center in Khao Yai Yai Island while staying in Thailand's popular resort island of looks like Phuket Khao Yai. It looks like fuck it, but all right, fuck it Khao Yai District Police Chief. They got some crazy names over there. Charon, but I'm not gonna even try to. These names are wild. Anyway, so and so told CNN. The owner of the center informed police of the incident on Friday, and an investigation is underway. The police chief said, I don't know why the investigation needs to be. She got gored to death by an elephant. CNN has reached out to the Elephant Care Center and Spain's embassy in Thailand for comment. Elephants, Thailand's national animal, have seen their wild population decline in recent decades due to threats from tourism, logging, poaching, and human encroachment on elephant habitats. Experts estimate the wild elephant population in Thailand has dwindled to 3,000 to 4,000, a decline from more than 100,000 at the beginning of the 20th century. That just shows you, man, these people in the world are just fucking everything up. It says, meanwhile, the number of captive elephants have increased 134% between 2010 and 2020. So there you go. We don't need to read anymore, but man, that's judgment. So let's go and get man, there's a couple that come to mind. This is Ecclesiasticus 39 and 30. And we got to start from 26. It says, we got to start from 25, actually. It says, for the good, it's Ecclesiasticus 39 and 25. For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. The principal things for the whole use of the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. So all these things, right, can be for good, as it's going to say in 27. All these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil. So, a matter of fact, here's something. Let's get this. What good things can these be used for? All right, of course, water. Water, sustenance, necessary for drinking, cooking, agriculture, hygiene, keeps us clean and healthy. Energy, used for hydroelectric power, right? Fire, cooking, makes food safe and palatable. Warmth, provides heat in cold climates. Industrial, powers forging, crafting tools, and technological advancements. Iron, tools and infrastructure, used to create tools, buildings, and machinery. Weapons, historically used for protection or hunting. Medicine, of course, Esau would bring up that, right? Medicine, iron is crucial for human health as a part of hemoglobin. Salt extends the shelf life of food. Health, or preservation. Health, essential for bodily functions like maintaining electrolyte balance. Cultural, used in rituals and symbolic acts. Well, that's weird. Flour of wheat. Nutrition, forms the basis for bread, staple food in many civilizations. Economy, integral to trade and commerce historically and today. Honey, nutrition, a natural sweetener rich in energy. All right. Medicine, antibacterial and used in wound healing. Pollination, bees and producing honey contribute to ecosystems. All right. Milk, all right, good source of calcium and nutrients, can be turned into butter, cheese, yogurt, other products. All right, supports livestock. Blood of the grape, which is wine, right? Source of calories, historically safer than water in some regions. All right, used as an antiseptic and relaxant. Oil, cooking, right? Historically used in lamps and electricity. Medicine, skincare. Oils soothe and heal the body. Clothing, shields from the elements and injuries. All right, provides utility in various professions and activities. All right. Now, how can these same things be used for evil and be harmful? All right, because going back, it says all these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil. So how so? Water, flooding, right? Flooding, floods, destroying lives and property, being contaminated and spreading diseases, right? Fire, burning homes, forests, entire cities. Incendiary weapons, all right, accidents, burns, loss of life, all right, swords, guns, tools of violence, all right, industrial iron pollution, right, salt, high blood pressure, heart disease, what else? Oversalting soil can render it infertile. Health issues with wheat. You see all these different things. Honey, over harvesting honey, harming bee populations, disrupting. All right. Monopolize. You can see it, man. Alcohol abuse, right? All different types of things, but it's for good for the godly, right? So continuing on in verse 28, it says, this is talking about, these people that go out there and gun people down, man. Those are spirits of vengeance. It says, verse 28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of their destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. All right, and you see that over here too with Florida boy killed by dogs while petting them. Owner to be charged. Sheriff says he never had a chance. Let's go and listen to it.
All right, good afternoon. Before we get started, I want to introduce the Volusia County Public Safety Director, Randa Matusik, and one of our animal control investigators is Angela Miedema. She's one of the lead investigators in this, and we'll start off by just telling you what a horrific incident this was. Last night at about 4:55 p.m., our victim, Michael Millett, 8 years old, was out on his bike with one of his friends, and at the entrance to their subdivision, he stops and goes to pet one of these dogs that's out there, and at that point, Michael is maliciously mauled, brutally mauled, and killed at the scene. We are working closely with Animal Control Services. During this investigation, Animal Control took custody of the two. Before we get started,
I just want to hear this again. Wait a minute.
Introduce the Volusia County Public Safety Director, Randa Matusik, and one of our animal control investigators is Angela Miedema. She's one of the lead investigators in this, and we'll start off by just telling you what a horrific incident this was. Last night at about 4:55 p.m., our victim, Michael Millett, 8 years old, was out on his bike with one of his friends, and at the entrance to their subdivision, he stops and goes to pet one of these dogs that's out there, and at that point...
So the question is, ain't nobody taught him not to pet a random ass dog? Interesting. All right.
Michael is maliciously mauled, brutally mauled, and killed at the scene. We are working closely with Animal Control Services. During this investigation, Animal Control took custody of the two dogs that were responsible. We're now awaiting the owner's response of whether to sign the dogs over or whether we have to go to court and fight over how we're going to proceed with this. So it's the beginning stages of an investigation. We are going to do everything humanly possible to hold the owner of these dogs responsible, and we're going to do everything possible to make sure that these animals are destroyed. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Angela, because she's the one who's here.
These animals are destroyed. Yeah. Well, biblically, that man shouldn't face any repercussion unless he knew that they were violent. All right. Exodus 21 and 28. This is just a learning learning point show you that Esau's law is just out of control. Exodus 21 and 28. If an ox gore a man or woman that they die, then the ox shall surely be stoned, and his flesh shall not be eaten. But the owner of the ox shall be quit. Nothing happens to him, right? But the animal needs to be put to death. 29. But if the ox were wont to push with his horn, in the past, and hath been testified to his owner, said, hey, look, the ox tries to gore me, man. And the ox hath not, Sakya, and he hath not kept him in, but that he hath killed a man or woman, the ox shall be stoned, and his owner also shall be put to death. So if you have an animal that attacks a person, and it never did it before, that animal gets put to death, nothing happens to you. Now, if you have an animal that has been known to be aggressive, and you didn't keep him in and lock him up, and he does gore somebody, and it's been testified, hey, man, that's a dangerous animal, man, and he still has him, then guess what? Then the ox is stoned, and the owner also as well, right? So there you go. That's how it is. It says, if there be laid on him a sum of money, then he shall give for the ransom of his life whatsoever is laid upon him. Whether he have gored a son or have gored a daughter, according to this judgment shall it be done unto him. All right. Now, if the ox shall push a manservant or maidservant, he shall give unto their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned. And if a man shall open a pit, or if a man shall dig a pit and not cover it, and an ox or an ass fall therein, the owner of the pit shall make it good, and give money unto the owner of them, that the dead beast shall be his. There you go. And if one man's ox hurt another's that it die, all right, if they got in an ox fight, right, then they shall sell the live ox and divide the money of it, and the dead ox also they shall divide. There you go. Or if it be known that the ox hath used to push in the time past, and his owner hath not kept him in, he shall surely pay ox for ox, and the dead shall be his own. There you go. You know, if it's known to get in fights with other animals and stuff. So that's the correct order of things. But Esau doesn't know how things. Oh, we're gonna make sure that this guy's brought to justice. We're gonna send him in prison and fuck his life up forever because his dog got out. Well, did he know that his dog was violent or no? Was his dog always nice and he just, all of a sudden it just snapped? Because that happens a lot with pit bulls, man. They just snap one day. All right. Now I bet it was a pit bull. I would be willing to bet money that it was a pit bull. As a matter of fact. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Dogs were allowed to roam the street. Okay. Goal is to destroy the dogs. Were they pit bulls? I bet they were pit bulls. I'd be willing to bet money. I bet $100 they were pit bulls. I could have lost my money betting it, but I'd bet it. Let me see. Hey, describe the dog as a pit bull terrier. There you go. See, I would have made my money back in $100 extra. Bam. There's always pit bulls. It's always fucking pit bulls, man. I don't fucking like those dogs. I don't like being around them. They're cute. They're sweet. Some of them are very sweet. But I can't, when all this happens, I can't expect, just because, this one's sweet that all of the other ones are good. It's like, it's basically like what Muhammad Ali said about white people. He said, there are some good white folk. Well, that's fine. He says, well, if I was surrounded by snakes, he said, should I trust that, 5 good snakes are going to surround me and protect me from the 100 snakes that are trying to attack me? Right? Dealing with, the white people. There's some good ones that might protect you. The rest aren't going to protect you. It's the same thing with the pit, what? So there's some good pit bulls that aren't going to attack. What should I expect? The 2 that aren't bad are going to protect me from the other 100 that maul and children and everything? Hell no, man. Hell no. Just no. I don't really. I like some big dogs, really, but they got to be like sweeter ones, like labs, golden retrievers, huskies. I mean, you don't. I like Rottweilers and German Shepherds and stuff. You don't hear about Rottweiler attacks. Everybody is scared of them, but you don't hear about Rottweiler attacks. You don't hear about German Shepherd attacks all the time. It happens from time to time, sure. And I'm sure there's golden retriever attacks and lab attacks and other dog attacks, but it ain't nothing like a pit bull. All right, if I'm out in the open and I see a golden retriever out in the field, I'm not gonna be scared like if that was a pit bull out in the field. I'm like, oh shit, what's this dog doing here, right? So that just shows you, man. And and that's another thing with Esau, just letting their animals roam around the damn street all the goddamn time. It's either Esau or Issachar. All right, I would bet it could be Jake, but Issachar loves them some damn pit bulls. All right, and Esau, I assume Esau, because they can't take care of anything. Their children, their animals, they just let them roam around. There's little 4-year-olds walking around in a Walmart. Hi, hello. Well, hey, how you doing, buddy? What the fuck? Where's this kid's parents at? There's a kid walking around shopping and shit. Might as well give him his own fucking basket at the end of the day. God damn, just walking around through a toy aisle, walking over here in the game aisle, walking over here looking at produce. Somebody get whose mama is letting this baby run loose? All right, someone get your baby. All right. And anyway, let me get a couple more scriptures. I got what do I want to get? Let me see. Let me get a good one to close out with. I got to get Isaiah 45:7, but that's not what we're going to close out with. Isaiah 45:7 says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. The Lord doesn't do evil. Well, just says that he creates evil right there. So I don't know what Lord you're worshiping, but it's obviously not the Lord of the Bible, because he has two sides, a very good side and a very terrible side. And you don't want to fall into his very terrible side, because that's where that judgment comes from, right? And so where else do I want to go from here? Let's go with you know what? I gotta get Ezekiel 9. We're gonna close out with Ezekiel 9. All right. All right. Because this shows you that the Lord don't care exactly who you are. All right. If that judgment is meant for you, you are going to get it. All right. So let's get that, and then another one. All right, and that's what we'll close out with. But Ezekiel chapter 9, right? So let's get verse 1. It says, He cried also in mine ears with a loud voice, saying, Cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand. And the Lord was setting up these, really, not necessarily spirits of vengeance, but as in the place, actual physical men to go and slaughter the wicked in the city, all right, in Jerusalem, to get this evil out of there. And behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gate, which lieth toward the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand. And one man among them was clothed with linen, with a writer's inkhorn by his side, and they went in and stood beside the brazen altar. Now, this man that was clothed in linen with a writer's inkhorn is a physical representation of the Holy Spirit. All right, and the glory of the power of Israel was gone up from the cherub, whereupon he was, to the threshold of the house, and he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Okay, and this is a spiritual mark. Okay, it says, Unto the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city. Now I gotta stop. I gotta go and prove, because the mark of the beast that's mentioned, Revelation 13, and we'll show you that it's a completely different thing. 'Cause, oh, what's the difference? It's a spiritual. No. Revelation 13 and 16. I'm going to show you something here. You're going to see that word, the mark. All right, to receive a mark, you're going to see the word charagma. But over here, you're going to see the word ta'av. All right, and the difference is the mark for ta'av is a mark, a sign of exemption from judgment. Meanwhile, this charagma is dealing with a actual physical stamp imprinted mark, a thing carved, sculpture. It's actually physical, engraved in you, right? This is a spiritual mark. All right, it says, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. All right, and then he was basically marking the elect. All right, putting a mark on their forehead, saying that that they are the elect. All right, and not to harm them. Right, and to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eye spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. The Lord's killing little children? Yes, he is. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark. Begin at my sanctuary, right? Where Lord's sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. All right. And it says, and he said unto them, defile the house and fill the courts with the slain. Go ye forth. And they went forth and slew in the city. So you can get it. Whether you're tall, whether you're small, whether you're short, whether you're round, whether you're skinny, all right, whether you're black, whether you're brown, all right, whether you're yellow, all right, it don't matter, all right, whether you wear, whether you're female or male, whether you're old, whether you're young, whether you're a baby, whether you're a toddler, it do not matter whether you're a man of the Lord, whether you're not the man of the Lord, all right, not man of the Lord, quote unquote man of the Lord, whether you're playing the role of a man of the Lord or not a man of the Lord. I want to exemplify that, because there are people that play the role of being a man or a woman of the Lord, but they're not really. All right, that's why he said, start at my sanctuary. All right, those would be people that would be considered quote unquote men of the Lord. Now, if they're not really men of the Lord, I want to make that perfect. I misspoke. I should have clarified. Quote unquote want to be men of the Lord. They say, oh, I'm a man of the Lord. Look, I got my fringes on, brother. All right, with stuff like that, but they're not really about it. All right. It doesn't matter whether you're an Israelite or not. All right, if the Lord has an issue with you, you can get it. Romans 2:11, for there is no respect of persons with Yahweh. There you go. So, and for as many as have sinned without law shall also perish without law, and as many have sinned in the law shall be judged by the law. There you go. So. You can get it, man. If you right here, Proverbs 13:13. This is what it gets down to. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. All right, so that's what it gets down to at the end of the day. All right, if you're a heathen, you automatically hate the word. And if you're an Israelite, you may or may not hate the word. If you're of the elect, you won't. If you're a 2/3, you will. And guess what? If you do, you're going to be destroyed. All you heathens and all you unbelievers out there. So that's the lesson. Judgment report for January 14th of 2025. Lord, when it was edifying, we're going to go ahead and close out. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakak Badash. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring. Keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing. Shalom.